It's Christmas! Well, at least it's December, but that means there are only so many days between now and the 25th, and I don't know what you know, but there are a buttload of Christmas movies out there, so we have to figure out what Christmas movies are going to be worth your time and which ones to skip. So we're going to be doing a ranking tier system today. I got my Darth Vader Christmas shirt here on, and I am all set to go. This should be pretty good. Let's start number one here, though, with a movie that I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think counts. I don't think this counts at all. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Now, this is another list that someone else put up altogether, but I can't put Planes, Trains, and Automobiles anywhere within this actual list because that is not a Christmas movie. That's a Thanksgiving movie. I talked about it in a review not too awful long ago for Thanksgiving movies and stuff. It's a Thanksgiving movie, so I can't even count that as an actual Christmas movie. So let's get into the regular, actual Christmas movies now. First up here is the Charlie Brown Christmas. This is a classic. Everybody loves this movie. I think, though, if we're honest, it's a little bit slow. It's heartwarming. I'll grant you heartwarming, but it is a little like once you've seen it once, how many times do you really want to see that? And like a lot of Peanuts things, let's be honest, a little bit depressing. But I will say its saving grace is it's not awful long. I'm going to put it in the B category only because of its legendary status. Otherwise, I feel like this would probably be going, you know what? I'm going down to a C. I've already talked myself out of it. We're going down to C. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. So let's go to another classic one here, Frosty the Snowman. Your animated Frosty the Snowman. I think everybody clearly enjoys this one. It is something that my brother and I still do to this very day to each other on our birthdays, which is Happy Birthday! It's so much fun. It's stupid. The songs are good. I'm putting that one in the B category. Next up here is okay, this one's going straight to F. What's the name of this one? The Santa Claus Comes to Town. This one, that's an F tier. That is absolute F tier. I know that there are a lot of people out there who think Santa Claus Comes to Town is a good movie. It is the worst of all the Rankin Bass films, and it's ugh. The songs aren't good. The animation is creepy. His eyes are all no, thank you. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, however. There's only one place that goes. That's A tier. A tier. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Is there a better one out there? You got Yukon Cornelius. You've got your dentist. Everything is working for you in that movie. That is A category all day long. Next up is The Grinch That Stole Christmas. Grinch That Stole Christmas. Here's the thing. That's another one that is a lot like Charlie Brown in as much as we see it all the time. It's there. It's kind of ubiquitous as far as Christmas goes and everything. It's become a little bit annoying over the years, and we'll get to some of that, in subsequent films, I'm sure, here. But ultimately, I really think that the only saving grace for that movie is that it's like 15, 20 minutes long. Outside of that, it's kind of, I'm going to put it in C tier. I can change my mind later, but it's going in C tier right now. All right, up next is the Robert Zemeckis Christmas Carol. Here's the thing. Like them or not, these movies don't really work all super well. They're pretty cool for when they come out and everything. And as far as Christmas Carol stuff goes, it's decent, but like it's still got that weird Robert Zemeckis CGI thing. I don't think it's nearly as, you know what? I'm going to put it up to a C, just based on a movie that I know is coming in a little bit later here. So actually, I'm going to bring up the Robert Zemeckis Christmas Carol up to a C, just because it's Dickens and there's enough like kind of proper Dickens stuff in there. It is odd that Jim Carrey is like every single character, isn't he? Isn't that how that works? Or is that the Hanks one? I forget. It's all kind of, it's a little bit too much for me. Up next is Arthur Claus. Arthur Claus is not a great movie, but it is one that is, it's decent. It's far better than you would expect it to be, but certainly nothing to write home about. All right. This next one here, I am going to get controversial. You're not going to like it. Leave the comments below. I'm ready for them. I am ready to receive them because Bad Santa, for me, that's going in the D category. That's right. I don't think Bad Santa's all that good. I think it's written It's the worst Farrelly Brothers written thing, I think. The problem I have with Bad Santa is that it's just there's no real redeeming characters or anything in it. Everybody's a real big jerk. I hate Billy Bob Thornton. I hate everyone in that movie, so I can't recommend it. But I know a lot of people dig it. Four Christmases with your Greasy Reese Witherspoon and Vince Vaughn. It's been a minute. I'm going to put this in the B category because I remember enjoying this quite a bit. Vince Vaughn almost made our Christmas list over on the podcast proper and everything because he's had a couple Christmas movies, but just not enough to fill out an entire month here and everything. But Four Christmases, for what it is, pretty good. You got your Jon Favreau in there jumping around like a maniac, so that's always fun. Up next is a Christmas classic that I didn't see until not too awful long ago, Jingle All the Way. And I'm sorry, it's a D-level movie. I think did we cover this on HMP a while back? I forget. No, I'm sure that we did. Yeah, I know we did. We covered Jingle All the Way, who knows what episode, but it's just fair. Sinbad is something else in this movie, as is Arnold Schwarzenegger. The best part about all of these movies and stuff, growing up now or being an adult now and looking at all of these Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, the funniest thing to me is just how unnatural his hair color has been almost all of his career. Like, as you're a kid, you don't really notice it in these movies and stuff, but now going back and looking at it as an adult, I'm just like, that is not a hair color that is found in nature, my friend. No good. Up next is Gremlins. Guess what, baby? Gremlins is up there. Gremlins is absolutely A-tier level Christmas movie. Again, you have to remember, Christmas movies require Christmas to be a main portion of a Christmas movie. In fact, if Christmas was not going on, would this movie exist? That's what you have to ask yourself. It is 100% there with Gremlins because, a salesman needs a unique gift for his son on Christmas and goes to a place, gets a Mogwai, and you know the rest. But it's, in fact, an absolute Christmas movie and one of the best ones. Love the Dick Miller cameo, as always. Up next is Home Alone. Home Alone was, I saw in the theater as a small child. It was so good. You know what? This is going to be the first one that goes in S tier. Home Alone is absolutely fantastic. Everything to recommend it by. It's funny. It's heartwarming. It's perfect. It's one of the perfect holiday movies. It's all about family and, your John Hughes your John Hughes written there and Chris Columbus directed and everything. It is just pure magic in a bottle. It's so good. Whereas Home Alone 2, which is the next one on the list, Home Alone 2 Lost in New York. We didn't learn our lessons the first time here. It's been a long time. And here's the weirdest part of all of it. You want to know my Home Alone 2 secret? Home Alone 2 Lost in New York. And one of the reasons I don't really read books these days is because of Home Alone 2. That's right. I was such a big Home Alone fan when Home Alone 2 was about to come out. I got really excited. So excited, in fact, I bought the novelization of Home Alone 2. And I read the whole thing front to back. And when I went to the theater, wild disappointment. I was like, man, that book was so good. The movie sucks so bad. And it was from that point on where I was like, no more reading for me, my friend. No sirree, Bob. Next up here is Jim Carrey's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Now, remember what I said about the original Grinch and everything? One of the nice parts about it is that it is 15 minutes long. I think that one of the detriments to this is that it is not 15 minutes long. It's a little bit longer than it should be. It's Carrey just kind of like going to the balls to the wall as per usual here. It's just okay. It really blows my mind too to remember that is it's a Ron Howard film. Yeah, you don't think about that too often. Up next is It's a Wonderful Life. I'm sorry, I got to put that down in the. It's not never watched because I've seen this movie. But guess what, kids? It's a Wonderful Life is not a Christmas movie. It's a movie that takes place on Christmas, but Christmas is not the reason why that movie actually happens. It is fantastic. It is one of the best movies of all time. All right, just because I know I'm going to get crap from everybody else, let's put it up in the A category. I can't go to S just on account of it's not an actual Christmas movie, but I know some of you are going to have a little bit of a heart attack if I don't, if I have it down in the never watched / is not a Christmas movie category. You're all going to have a conniption, so fine. Love Actually. Listen, I loved Love Actually when I first saw it, but right now I'd put that in the C category because even as schmaltzy and everything as it is, I feel like that would be even too much for me, and that's saying something. Up next is Miracle on 34th Street. These are good. I'm going to put both the original and the 90s remake there with Little Matilda. I'm going to put that one in the B category as well. Both of those are really good. I'm putting them both in B because I think ultimately you really don't need both of them. You can just take one of them and you'd be absolutely okay. Up next is some Eloise movie. I've never seen that, so I'm just going to put that in the never seen category. Elf. Oh my word, Elf has become one of those Christmas classics over the years. I can't quite put Elf in the A category because Will Ferrell just can get grating on you if you're not careful. And Buddy's overexuberance in the film can be a little bit grating. At least for me, one of the reasons Elf is super successful is Bob Newhart. I think he's absolutely hilarious in that role. Just, well, frankly, playing Bob Newhart, but that's what you get him for, right? Up next is Mixed Nuts. I've seen Mixed Nuts, but it's been so long that I'm going to have to put that in the didn't see category because it just does not register with me. Up next, though, is one that absolutely registers and goes straight to the S tier, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. There is no discussion. This is one of my Mount Rushmore of Christmas movies here. It is one that I will consistently go back to. It's the best National Lampoon movie, and it is one of the best Christmas movies of all time. Please, for the love of God, fight me on it. Up next is Polar Express. I'm going to put Polar Express in the kind of D category. Again, there's a lot of screaming in that movie and a lot of kids. And I think that one is the one that's got Tom Hanks as all the characters, which is an interesting but very odd choice. Up next is Scrooged, everybody. Scrooged is one of the greatest films. It's so good, but where can we put it? Where can Scrooge go on the list? I got to put... Scrooge is going up to A. The only reason that Scrooge is not going to go any higher than A is... I think the only reason that Scrooge doesn't go a little bit higher than A is because it's a little dirty, it's a little grungy kind of movie and everything. Your grandma's not going to want to watch Scrooge. You're going to put in another kind of Christmas Carol-esque movie in that case. This is the movie that you put on once grandma goes to sleep and everything. But it is an A-tier movie. It's so good. Bill Murray's just fantastic in it. And I mean, come on. Up next is The Man Who Invented Christmas, starring Dan Stevens. This came out a couple of years ago, and I have to tell you, this is a movie that most folks have not seen. I'm putting it in the A tier because it is that good. It is about Dickens, speaking of. It's amazing. It's so very good, and it's kind of just like, the things that happen to the author inform his writing and all that kind of stuff, but it's whimsical and whatnot. So a fantastic choice. If you haven't seen that one, please give that a shot. Up next, it's been Dickens galore over here. We got The Muppets Christmas Carol. Guess what, kids? Of all the Christmas Carol ones, that one absolutely belongs in the A category. It is so good. You cannot deny how awesome this story is. And even you got Little Robin as Tiny Tim. Adorable but hilarious at the same time for some reason. I don't know why. Oh boy, here comes a controversial one. Up next is Nightmare Before Christmas. Is it a Christmas movie? Is it a Halloween movie? Guess what? I don't particularly care with either or. This is going into the D category, and I'll tell you why. Tim Burton fans have done it. Tim Burton fans have turned me against this movie almost since it came out and everything. Everyone talks about it as if it is the greatest thing since sliced bread. It's just fine. The music's fine. The animation's really great. I will grant you the animation, the design, all of it looks fantastic, sounds fantastic. But your fans have absolutely ruined that movie. Sorry, it is going in the D category. Up next is Tim Allen's The Santa Claus. This movie came out in the 90s, was a whole heck of a lot of fun, and I don't care what anybody says. I'd put that on the same level as an Elf, so I'm going to put that in the B category there. You know, you may not like Tim Allen, but yeah, it could be worse. Up next is Trading Places. Trading Places, Christmas movie, I suppose. But we're going to go put that up in that B category here. This next movie everybody's been talking about, and I'm finally going to talk about it now, and that's Call Me Claus with Whoopi Goldberg. I haven't seen this movie, so we're definitely putting this into the not seen category. But my word. All right, so we are continuing on in Tim Allen Corner here because next up is Christmas with the Cranks. I don't hate this movie, but this is definitely kind of that D-tier movie. If you are out of Christmas movies to watch and you're just like, God, I need something that's a little bit different, Christmas with the Cranks is okay. Two people who don't want to celebrate Christmas kind of get forced into it by wild circumstances and stuff like that. It's a little, it's a little crazy and all that kind of stuff, but it's fine. It's fine. Continuing on with the Tim Allen trend here, Santa Claus #2. That's going into the C category because while it's a sequel, it's not quite as good as the original, but it's not awful. It's not the third one. Up next is 8 Crazy Nights. I remember seeing that when I was probably in college or something like that, but I cannot remember enough, so I'm just going to put that in the never seen. It's fine. Well, if you've been in America and had TBS anytime within the past 30 years, chances are you've seen this movie a gajillion and one times, and that is A Christmas Story, your old Ralphie original here. The only reason that this is going to go into the B category is just because it's played too much. I think that we've been playing this movie over and over for far too long. We gotta just pump the brakes on A Christmas Story just a little bit. I mean, look at this list alone, and we still got plenty more movies to go here. There are a ton of Christmas movies out here. You don't have to play this one Christmas movie on repeat ad nauseum. We're getting nauseous, so cut it out. Like, for example, instead of playing that movie, you know what you could be playing? Ernest Saves Christmas. That's right. It might be a C-tier level movie, but you know what? It's fun enough for what it is. Listen, if you don't want to see an Ernest P. Worrell movie, maybe you just don't have any joy in your heart. I don't know. Maybe that's just you. Up next is Fred Claus. You know what? Son of a bitch. I'd forgotten that Vince Vaughn was in this one too. Fred Claus is, it's okay. That's a C-tier level. It's good enough for what it is. I don't remember enough of the plot of it, but I do remember having a decent enough time at it. This next one, little controversial, I can tell you right now. This is the animated Grinch with Benedict Cumberbatch. And I was expecting to absolutely hate this movie. As I said, the Grinch just hasn't quite hit it for me in almost any of the other previous iterations and whatnot. So I wasn't expecting this one to be all that great either. But you know what? It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm going to actually put this in the B tier because I think that is actually a much better movie than people give it credit for. If you haven't seen the animated Grinch Stole Christmas, it's got the old, I think it's just called Grinch, right? Yeah, it's just called Grinch. The one with Benedict Cumberbatch. Check it out. We had the other two, so you knew the third one was going to be coming here. That's Home Alone 3. Did I ever see Home Alone 3? No, because why would I? Macaulay Culkin not here? Guess what? That's not Home Alone. It's done. Home Alone dies with #2. Actually, Home Alone should die with #1 because it's already the perfect movie. We don't need that one. And oh my God, there was a Home Alone 4. No one's watching this crap. And this kid don't even look. Does that kid even remotely look like Macaulay Culkin? Get a blonde kid or something, for the love of Christ. Up next is Jack Frost, where Michael Keaton becomes a snowman. I don't remember liking this all that much. I'm going to put that in the D category. So up next is Just Friends, a movie that we covered on the podcast proper in our Ryan Reynolds month here and everything. This movie I had not seen until just then, and it is a lot better than I would expect. I'm going to put this in the B category. I wouldn't go screaming up into the hills that this is a great Christmas movie per se. We're going to go with it. There's To Grandmother's House We Go. I have no clue what that is, but we're going to put that in the didn't see, along with the Medea Christmas. I've only seen one Medea, and that was the Medea Boo Medea Christmas, whatever the first Medea Halloween movie was. I watched that because I thought I'd go see the sequel because fun. But after watching the first one, I was like, "There's no way I can go watch that sequel." So it's been the only Tyler Perry movie I've seen. No, that's not true. I've seen a couple of dramatic things. That's the only Medea movie I've seen. That more specifically. Up next is Unaccompanied Minors. I remember liking this movie a bit. It's been a minute since I've seen it, so I'm just going to put it in the C category because that seems to make a little bit of sense. Up next is a Netflix Christmas movie with Kurt Russell, Christmas Chronicles. I have not seen that. Any good? Somebody let me know in the comments below. All right, here it is. It's that time. I was wondering when it was coming up on the list, and it was bound to be here. It's Die Hard, everybody. You know where it's going, straight up to S tier. You know, it's going to go in the first position on S tier, just because that's where it actually belongs, because it's the best Christmas movie. Macaulay, get over. There you go. Die Hard's the best Christmas movie. You can fight me on that. Again, John McClane is in LA on account of Christmas. If not for Christmas, he would not be there. It's a Christmas party that he is attending. It's a Christmas movie, gang. Sorry. Office Christmas Party. I saw this when it came out. Do not remember it, so that's going to go into the D category. Up next is a Christmas movie that's not quite like a lot of the other ones here. That's The Night Before with Seth Rogen and Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Anthony Mackie. I remember thinking it's okay, but that's got to go in the D category. That is not going to go anywhere near my kind of regular rotation for Christmas movies. Like I said, guys, you got less than 25 days here to get all your Christmas movies in. That ain't where you want to go. Why Him? That's with Bryan Cranston and James Franco. Didn't particularly care for it. You really want to make sure you just go, I wish Bryan Cranston would just like choke this guy to death. That's what you wish would happen in that movie, but it don't. Santa Claus 3, that's going into the F tier. Sorry. Why is it that Martin Short is one of the funniest men in the world, but then when he gets into movies and stuff like that, he just eats it so hard, and it's just like, gosh, it's not funny. But you give me a Jiminy Glick segment, I'll watch that all day long, boy. His book's really good as well. Last movie here, because most of these wrestling I haven't seen. I haven't seen this one either, but I absolutely need to see it. Santa with Muscles. This stars Hulk Hogan, I guess, as Santa Claus. So I'm definitely going to be checking that one out as soon as I possibly can. That's it, everybody. We got a whole bunch of Christmas movies here. What's your favorite Christmas movie, and how wrong did I get this list and everything? Let me know your favorite Christmas movies in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.